This young lady said that her parents are trying to force her to defer college for a few years to continue helping with her younger siblings. Now, keep in mind, she was admitted to a top university, and not just admitted, she had a full ride scholarship. And instead of being excited for their daughter, they're worried about who's going to care for her younger siblings when she's gone. So instead of her, instead of celebrating her, they're saying, hey, why don't you consider going to a local community college? That way, you can stay put and you can continue supporting the family because we all got to stick together. We all got to stick together. And so she's trying to figure out, like, what's the best way to approach the situation? How do you navigate something like this? And so let's go ahead and get into it. So she's first generation American, worked hard in school with the goal of getting into a top university. Her parents have 5 kids, ages 6, 8, 9, 11, and 12. But she's the oldest and the only girl. Her dad moved back home about 5 years ago as he was having problems with her mom. From as long as she can remember, her parents have always relied on her for help with raising her siblings. But when her dad left, it got even worse, to the point that, she wasn't even allowed to do anything with her friends. She wasn't allowed to do like some extracurricular activities for school, things that were meant to help make her a stronger candidate for higher education. And anytime she would ask for financial support related to the things that, she was doing for school, they would tell her, like, we don't have the money. Meanwhile, her mom was sending money back home. So she tried to get a job, but that became an issue because, she was going to be gone from the home. And her mom was like, who's going to watch the kids while I'm away? And so to prevent any issues, she just ended up starting a little business at home so that, she could cover all of her own expenses. Then her mom started asking her to contribute to the household. Now, keep in mind, her dad back home was managing his affairs, but he wasn't really contributing to the household that they had here in the US. But she also didn't have the best relationship with him. So it wasn't like she could go to him and be like, hey, like, can you talk to mom? Or hey, like, can you contribute a little bit more? Or can you make this a little bit better for me? Because this situation is really hard on me. Now that she's gotten into her dream school, both of her parents are trying to force her to forego the opportunity, talking about she needs to think about the family and not be selfish. They told her to at least wait until her brother was 15 so that he can take over helping. But in the meantime, she could go to community college locally. When she brought up the fact that their kids are their responsibility and that she was helping way before she was 15, they told her that she was being disrespectful. And they threatened to stop talking to her, completely cut her off if she did make the decision to go away to college. And so now she feels like she's stuck between a rock and a hard place because she doesn't want to disappoint her family, but at the same time too, like, she wants to pursue her dreams and aspirations because she's worked so hard to get into this position. Now here's my 2 cents, and some of y'all may not agree. You get into a top university, especially on a full ride scholarship, you go, period. This is not me knocking community college, but I feel like if you have the opportunity to go directly into that university, why would you not? Especially when the only reason why they're trying to derail your plans is so that you can continue to provide childcare to kids that are not your kids. Some parents need to understand that your older children are not parents by default, right? Like, those are your children that you birthed. Like, they can do what they can as siblings. And so you can't just say, okay, now this is your obligation. I had these kids, now you got to help me take care of them, to the point that you can't pursue your own life. Like, to me personally, like, that don't make sense. Again, I know that some people may not agree. Some people may say, oh, that's an American mindset. That's an American mindset. But at the end of the day, like, you should be able to take care of the kids that you've had because that's your responsibility and not the responsibility of your other kids. But I digress. In my opinion, they'll get over it. Bottom line is, you have to choose yourself. Will it be easy? Probably not, right? But you're at a crossroads where you have to make adult decisions, and adult decisions do have adult consequences. But in my opinion, in my humble opinion, when you're successful in the future, they'll get over it. And they'll even act like, they never put you in a position to make this choice. Do what's best for you so that you can advance yourself. Because really and truly, like, you can only help other people once you're in a position to help, right? And the only way you're going to get in that position is creating a lane for yourself. And going to this top university on this full ride will help you create that lane, or at least start to build that opportunity for yourself.